Oh no.
Hello.
Well, howdy.
I think it's recording.
It seems like it.
We'll see. How's it
Works for
going?
me. Pretty good. Welcome back to
Oh,
how long
welcome
has it
back
been?
after
A couple months?
a month. A
A month or
month.
two?
Well, yeah,
I think we
almost
stopped
2 months.
before your birthday.
Yeah, the week before my birthday, yeah, to be fair.
Yeah.
So,
So how was
but
your
that feels like
birthday?
not that long ago. My birthday was fun. It was a Sunday, so I mean,
Oh.
obviously, like the Sunday scaries. Anyways,
So we went through your birthday and then we
it
had holidays
yeah, and then I got deathly ill.
and
So
then you died a little bit.
that was my fault. My bad. I did have to. I mean, okay.
Oh my god. I have a
What?
drink. I have
Oh,
a
you have a
Celsius.
drink. That's so
I was just
exciting.
thinking, I'm so sleepy, I'm gonna die.
Honestly,
Also, I look this way because I was camping for
yeah.
anyone that watches as well. I've been outside
I
in the
have.
cold.
Well, I kind of have. We went on a longer walk than anticipated today. So I'm in San Sebastian, which is where Ashen's grandma lives,
Mhm.
and his entire extended family, and saw all of them last night. That was really intense. And it's a very hilly city. So we were going to go on a walk today, and he was like, "Oh, we're going to go like around to this other neighborhood, and then um we're going to like go down by the beach and walk home via the beach." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Yeah, I didn't realize that included like a hill that was at like a 45-degree angle, that we didn't realize there was like a little like funicular elevator thing that you could have taken up,
Oh,
us and all the
fun.
old people.
Yeah.
We didn't realize that till the end of the hill,
Very nice.
but it's fine.
Well,
It was fun.
that sounds fun.
And we have to wake up at 4 a.m. tomorrow to go home. So,
Ouch. Do you have to work tomorrow? Surely not.
indeed, yes, I do.
Oh, ouch.
I could just pull a sick day if I wanted to, but honestly, I was gone for, well, no, I wasn't actually. I was already like off whenever I was actually sick. So it was fine. I literally missed one half day because I was like, on the 31st,
Yeah.
on New Year's Eve, I was like, "Hey guys, I feel like shit. Can I not come to work?" Because first of all, we were in the UK when I got sick. So I was like dying, not in my own bed. And then I swear to you, we tried every pharmacy, every like drugstore that we could find to find me a mask on New Year's Eve, because we flew home on New Year's Eve. Couldn't find one anywhere. Literally anywhere. We tried everywhere and we couldn't find any masks.
Right.
And so I just had to sit there on the plane with strangers next to me,
Holding your breath.
I might add, like being like just sitting there like in my own funk and filth like for
that
2
sounds awful.
hours. And like obviously these people know that I'm sick. Like there's no way they didn't know I was sick. And like I looked so selfish, but I couldn't find any masks. And so I couldn't help it. I didn't have like a cough or anything. So it wasn't like I was, spewing into the wilderness, but
That's good.
it was not fun. And Ashen
Honestly, the cough
basically,
is what you like. I feel like if I'm on a plane, the cough is what I'm listening for.
yeah,
I'm like,
same. I was sniffing quite a bit. Like I was sniffly, but I wasn't coughing. I was in the throes of one of the worst fevers I think I've ever had. Ashen basically just had to keep feeding me ibuprofen, and like he was like pushing me along, like like I was a shell of a human being that day. he was like, he kept being like, you are dominating this. He was like, you are doing so well. And I was just sat there like, no, I can't see. It was so horrible.
I am booger.
I am just straight like liquid. Like it wasn't even boogers, it was straight liquid. And I was like, I can't. Couldn't talk. I cried like 3 times during the day because I was so sick. Like,
That's fair.
yeah.
How you feeling now?
Fine. I'm fine. I finally, so that was like, how long ago was New Year's? Because I slept through New Year's Day. So I have no idea.
Like
10 days ago. I'm fine. I have a little bit of a sniffle, and like my ears finally popped yesterday, which was
nice.
lovely. Yeah, so I'm fine. But last week at work was rough because I was like, I think that the influenza has taken my ability to do my job, and I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But
I feel like
I think everyone else was like
beginning
that.
of the year, and then I use all of my sick time at the beginning of the year.
Well, yeah, it's absolutely crazy to me that you guys just, you can only be sick 8 days a year.
Yeah, only allowed 6 days. 6 days and 2 flex holidays. 6 sick days, 2 flex holidays, and like 2 weeks of PTO that I accrue. So I don't ever have just a full 2 weeks unless I wait a year, which is what I had to do for South Africa, was not use any PTO for a year to let it accrue, just so I could take a vacation. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Believe it or not, that's the least bad thing about this country right now.
True.
Believe it or not, I'm not concerned about my PTO.
That's very fair. That's the least of our concerns is how many sick days you get, to be fair. But
yeah,
I just still think that the concept of, relying on,
I get an extra week once I hit 5 years at my company. So I don't have hair to flip back.
I just don't feel that there's anything that I should say right now as someone who works
I know. I'm aware, and I'm glad you're not saying
the
anything.
Country in the European Union.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like prisoners are treated better than just regular employees in the United States. So
yeah, probably that would check out. Well,
anyways,
since you slept through the New Year,
how was your New Year's?
Oh, mine was good. I was just cutting glass.
Oh yeah,
big glass girl now.
Big glass girl.
I would like to draw our attention back to when you said, Katie, it's okay to be bad at things, because not to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty fucking good at stained glass.
Okay, I literally never said you were bad at it.
You did it. No, you didn't say I was bad at it, but you were like trying to manage my expectations, because I kept saying, I feel like I'm going to be pretty good at this.
No, and because I was the one who got your expectations too high, because I was like, oh, women are very good for some reason, I know that women are very good solderers because they have a more delicate hand and more like
check out
precision, more stability, I guess you would say, like for soldering. So no, I was just trying to be, I was trying to temper your expectations, because I didn't want you to be like, Maddie said I would be perfect at this.
Well, I have
it's like adding LOL to the end of all of your messages so that you're not culpable if something goes wrong.
Yeah, that's a good You can't tell me I was mean. I said LOL.
You cut glass for your New Year's Eve.
I cut glass. My current problem is I keep thinking of things to do for all of my friends and haven't thought of anything to do for myself yet, which is a typical problem that I have. But I would like to make something for myself.
No.
I thought
sundial, no. A clock? That would be fun.
Yeah, I'm not a big clock person.
Fair.
I don't, time and me aren't friends. I have some ideas. I want to do, what I really want to do is, I've seen this artist that makes these cicada stained glass lamps, and they're beautiful. And I really want to make one. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just 4 flat cicadas, right?
Oh, okay.
But then once you like have
solder
each
them
piece
together.
soldered, then you solder them together.
Oh, understand.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking of like a, like the Tiffany glass lamps that are like,
yeah, it's not
like the
round like that.
shade
It
is
would be
made.
a 4-shot. I did see people do
How do
that
you
with
do
like a
that?
styrofoam,
Oh,
like
okay.
half dome, and then you just pin on the pieces and then
Of
tack
course.
them all together with the
Yeah.
solder, and then you go in and clean it up. I don't think I would ever want to do a Tiffany style. I don't like the ones that are a bunch of small pieces
Yeah, that
because I
seems
don't like
very
cutting and grinding the small
complicated.
pieces. I like when
That's
I
fair.
get to do long lines. But yeah, eventually I'll do a lamp for myself, but I don't know when.
You finished all of the Christmas gifts. This might be a lasting hobby, Katie.
Some of them, most of them, yes.
Most of them. That's better than last year.
I finished everyone that I needed to have for Christmas Day, like my family's. And then I finished my brother and sister-in-law had to stay in Charleston, so they weren't there because Dave had to work Christmas Day. I finished their pieces on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Because I had texted them and said, so your Christmas gifts are going to be New Year's gifts. And then I texted them New Year's Day and said, by New Year's gifts, I meant I finished them on New Year's Day. So now I just have to send them. And that can take anywhere from like 0 to 5 business months, depending on when I get myself a box.
It's not necessarily the making of the craft that's the problem. It's
the making
going
of the craft
to the post
is the
office.
Fun, easy part. It's packaging it
going
up
to the post office,
sending it off in the mail.
Which I also understand because I have never wanted to do anything less than going to a post office in this country.
Yeah, it's not great.
Not very nice.
I'll do it. I have to send theirs, and then I made Allie Brilliance a piece that I need to send to her. So they'll get them. I just got the glass I needed to finish Kinley's, who I also do still have her Christmas gift from 2 years ago now that I have not completed.
Good. What was that?
It was, I got her Guess Who and was just gonna put Gilmore Girls faces instead of the regular Guess Who faces. Literally all I have to do is print off. You can buy on Etsy a Gilmore Girls Guess Who 2 years. Here we are. So I'll get that one day.
And you don't live with a low-level anxiety for this? Or no? I'm genuinely curious.
Well, I'm pretty good at, like, I said, my friends know the expectation is eventually they'll get it.
I know.
Like, they know I really want to make them glass. We just went camping with 2 friends, and we were Charlie and Rachel. We were talking to them. Rachel asked how my glass was going. I was like, it's great. I already have pieces planned for both of you guys. I was like, couldn't tell you when you're gonna get them, but I have plans.
There's plans. They're in here. Don't worry about it.
I've had people from like high school reaching out, want me to make a piece for them, and I'm like, I don't know that I'm ready for that yet, but send me ideas. I'll see what I can do.
And
so
presumably
maybe I can quit my job and just do stained glass full time.
Honestly, that would be so cool. Like if you open like an Etsy shop, that would be really neat.
The thing that I think would be tough is I'm doing it on just like foldable tables right now. And you need to be standing when doing most of it. So I just look like the hunchback.
So you gotta do some big stretches afterwards.
I'm just like grinding hunched over, like, there's some good cola in there. Still do think I'm an opal miner when I'm grinding.
Yeah, that's fair. But
we've also been watching a lot of opal miners.
What if we haven't been watching anything since we finished Game of Thrones? Maybe that was recent as well. I almost died on Thursday. That's not true, but it felt like it.
Share with the class.
So we flew from Valencia to Bilbao, which is the closest major airport to San Sebastian, where Ash's family lives.
Okay.
Bilbao is, I would go out on a limb and say the worst airport in the world to land in. There's always wind. If the weather is like remotely bad, like your landing is going to be traumatizing at the very least. So So they tried to land once. First of all, before any turbulence happens, they come through the cabin with sick bags.
They prep you.
Which
They
is
trigger
not
warning.
literally.
I thought sick bags are already in the. Do they not just like automatically put them in the seat?
No, they don't have them in the seat pocket. But basically, Ashen was like, "Oh my god!" Whenever they came through with the sick bags, because he was like, "This is not going to be good." Because automatically you're like, "Oh, what are we in for?" Like,
sure, yeah.
So they attempt to land twice. Attempt is the key word here, because we got fairly close to the ground the first time, and then I shit you not, the plane, it felt like it went like that and that. Like genuinely, it felt like the plane was going like that. And there was a moment like where I looked ahead and I was like, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna die. Like,
this is it.
This is it. Genuinely, like, I had that moment, like, where I was like, oh my god. And it was like just blind panic. I was crying, praying,
Yeah, sure.
So then they attempt a second landing. That went similarly, as you can imagine. And then they were like, okay. So the scariest part about like the attempted landings is that they'll like go down and you get quite close to the ground, but then it's like, the plane's going like this. And then they immediately just shoot back up into the sky, which is, I don't want to say scarier. It's not scarier, but it is like a little bit alarming to like, like feel the turbulence and then like,
never mind. Psych.
So yeah, no, literally we had to land at another airport.
That's wild.
Which has never happened to me. And then we were put on a bus to the other airport. So I did think I was going to die. The people around us, they thought nothing was going on. The men sitting behind us literally did not have, there was no break in their conversation at all.
Just yapping away.
They just kept talking during the entire ordeal. And after the first like landing where I was having like a literal panic attack, they were like, it's like trying to park a car, sometimes you like go in and you think you're going to fit it. And then you gotta go, oh no, gotta find another place. I was like, are these people being absolutely serious?
That's how
right
I think about flying in general. Like whenever we hit turbulence, I just feel like, oh, I'm just going over some potholes in the road.
Yeah,
I just picture I'm in a car the whole time,
as well.
An air car.
And it is obviously very safe. And like the captain did a really good job, I will say, of being like, hey, just so you guys know, what happened there is that we got really close to the ground, and then we had an alert that came on, like we had like a warning signal that we should not land. We should not even attempt the landing. And he was like, I'm going to go try again. But if the same thing happens and the wind changes really quickly, then we're just going to have to go divert to another airport. So it was like, we were very well informed, and I'm like quite grateful that they were very safe in that way, that they knew that they weren't going to try to land if it was too unsafe, So that's good. But yeah, it did feel a little bit traumatizing. I did, in fact, inhale a beer when we got to Bilbao Airport. Like usually, obviously I live with a British man, so he drinks a lot faster than me, as per his culture.
Sure.
But I did fully drink the beer in about 30 seconds at the airport.
Incredible.
It was good. Anyways.
Personally, I will have beer nowhere near me, but currently. But we can talk up. Do we want to do our ins and outs of 2026?
Yeah, I've been trying so hard to think of them, Katie, and I genuinely cannot.
Might I suggest getting a little bit high?
Can we do this in the next episode? Okay.
Sure can.
Okay. Because I don't have access to that right now. Okay,
then we can talk about why I don't want to do beer.
Okay.
Don't want to do beer.
Yeah, because you are a lover of a brown ale, as I recall.
I am. However,
You're doing dry
our
January.
dear friend Mac, well,
Mhm.
unintentionally, yes. Our dear
Okay.
friend Mac graduated with her as a doctor of occupational therapy. And I was
Yes,
we were just so happy for her and really wanted to celebrate. Really celebrated. We really celebrated that weekend. And now I'm just not gonna be drinking alcohol for a while.
I understand. Very good.
I somehow have a thing. So I, in my life, have only one other time thrown up from alcohol.
Uh-huh.
It was like right before I went to college. And so it had been, can you hear my stomach making those noises?
No.
Anywho.
Hungry.
It's my body's having PTSD just talking about it.
Your body's like, the beer.
Everybody left. And Ada and I went into the garage for one last sesh before we went to bed. And I took one hit and I just said, I don't feel good. I need you to go get a bowl right now. So he goes inside and comes back with the bowl. And I just immediately, and I'm not like, my eyes are closed the whole time. So I'm not really in the room with him, but he's there helping me.
Right.
And I know at one point he switched out bowls.
Oh.
And then we got me upstairs and I went to bed. And then the next morning we went and toured land with Mac and Addie. And I have never, like, I genuinely, it was freezing cold outside and we had the windows rolled down. I was fully sticking my head out of the window. Like, I need
like
airflow. I had Addie gets really bad car sickness just in general. So she has all of the stuff. I had her car sickness goggles on and I was sticking my head out the window, just like,
can't breathe.
It was so bad. Matt was like, I kind of hope we do get this land just so we can say this is the story of the first time we went and toured.
We were like deathly hungover.
But yeah, it was so
goggles.
bad. And I still can't. I took a shot or two of Fireball on Christmas Eve, but that's like, it doesn't count because what got me was
beer.
It didn't count because it's Christmas Eve and it's a tradition.
Yeah.
I didn't drink anything else besides some THC cocktails.
Ooh,
which is my new thing.
I do want to try some.
But
of
yeah,
those
still can't drink alcohol.
That's understandable.
We did get tickets to Frost Fest this year, so there will be beer February 7th, and I think I'm just gonna wait until then. And then I guess
fair.
I think you should be over it. End poorly.
Yeah, that might ruin you a little bit, but it's okay.
Then it might be a dry year after that. We'll see.
Yeah, see, like I have this thing in me where that doesn't happen because I got really sick at Oceanstad's. Like we went there for Christmas. Well, we went to the UK for Christmas and we went to Oceanstad's the Monday before Christmas to celebrate with him and his wife. And yeah, drank a few, woke up at 4 a.m. and got rid of everything from either end, and then
either or
both yeah. And yeah, it's still the 2 days later I was like, yeah, pub, cool, let's go have some Guinnesses. What's wrong with me?
I can't. The next day, what it was a combination of the night started at Mac's grad party, which was at a brewery, right?
Yeah.
So it started with beer, and then we invite people back to our house to hang out. Addie shows up with the Sam's version of Pink Whitney, and I'm at a point where that doesn't taste like anything to me.
Oh, good.
So she would pour a shot, hold it out, and just say, Katie, and I'd say, sure, and then go up and take it. And never questioned it. Don't know how many I took. But Aiden brought the bottle out the next morning and said, looks like there's still a little bit left. There was like this much in this bottle. And I glanced at what he was talking about and almost lost it again. I was like, get that thing out of my sight. I swear to God.
It's only beer that I can repeat, like rinse and repeat. If I get sick from beer, I'm fine for beer. But like,
I feel like that could be me. I just decided a blanket.
That's fair. I think that's the healthier way to deal with it. To be clear, I think that's much more healthy. But like, I have not drank Pink Whitney since February of 2020, and there's a reason. Because you said Pink Whitney, and my like UV blue, not since I was 16. Literally, I can't. I was telling Ocean the story of the first time I drank the other day. Like, UV blue is like a vodka. He was like, "Oh, you mean like a mixed drink?" And I was like, "No, it is blue raspberry vodka. It is not like one of them cocktail thing. It is straight up 40%." And I was 16 years old and had no idea how to make mixed drinks. So I did half UV blue and half lemonade. And then I obviously blacked out because
yeah, for sure.
Anyways, yeah, liquor does not sit well with me. So
yeah,
pink
combination
gin,
of
get it out of my face.
I don't even want to. I think we should stop talking about it because I might need to take a break.
Yeah, let's stop talking about it.
Maybe let's move on.
All right. Do you want to tell your story? Would water help?
I sure think water might dilute this a little bit.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Is your Celsius helping? No? Yes? Have some Celsius. That's non-alcoholic.
I'm trying to get this to... Ooh, there we go. Now I
Did
can
you do
see
the split screen?
And my notes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, now how do I... Oh, no, they're not too big. Okay. So we're on part 3 of freshwater supplies.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone.
Finally, welcome back. 2 months later, part 3.
I also have a part 3.
We've gone, yep. So we've gone over the science and issues of freshwater supplies. I'll do a quick recap for the science part. We just talked about the hydrologic cycle and El Nino and La Nina and how those different events affect the hydrologic cycle and how we have a lot less freshwater available. A lot less freshwater compared to saltwater, even less that's available, and even less that's available for human consumption.
Yes.
Every year. And then we talked about the issues, like people overwatering, places where they're running the groundwater table and the land is subsiding like crazy. All the depressing things that come with freshwater resources and overconsumption. And so today we're gonna liven it up a bit, talk about some solutions to these problems. There's 4 main solutions we're gonna talk about. So water conservation on a more personal scale. I would say a more human scale because we're gonna talk about 2 different types of conservation. So water conservation on a, I guess municipal is maybe the best way to explain it, scale, and then water reclamation and recycling, and then we're going to talk about desalination, and then conservation and restoration of ecosystems.
Nice.
End it by going back to the source. So first is water conservation on a more human scale. I said fix yo faucet. So the quick example to get out of the way, the water supply system of Mexico City loses enough water just through leaks to supply Rome with all of the water that it needs.
Whoa.
Crazy, right? Water losses from leaks in water supply systems can range from 10 to 30% of total water volume pumped. So we're losing a lot of water through that. New York City is a good example. This happens in big and small cities. It's common everywhere. You got pipes are going to leak. So New York City, for example, big city, lots of water supply. Their pipes for water supply and wastewater lines laid out would stretch to California and back twice. They have so many people to supply water to. So
obviously. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's also a lot to keep up with.
Yeah,
so
of course.
In the 1970s, it started to get real bad. Water and wastewater flows were exceeding their safety limits and pushing pollution maximums. So they started a whole campaign that began with public education. So they had over 200,000 door-to-door informational visits where they offered free leak inspections, free low-flow shower heads, and they also had programs that would offer rebates if people would switch to low-volume flush toilets.
Hmm.
Eventually, they installed water meters in all of the unmetered residents to help the city and its residents track their water usage. They installed leak detectors
Yeah.
to help detect the leaky pipes. And overall, they
That's
saved
cool.
almost 320 million gallons
Oh my God.
or 1.2 billion liters of water per day, which is
Per
yeah.
day? That's crazy.
Yeah. So the greatest volume of water saved was actually associated with the water meters that they installed. People
Huh.
just being able to see how much water they were using
People are
made
like,
them
oh.
reduce it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty interesting. It wasn't just
That's
fixing leaky
interesting.
pipes. It was once you're aware of how much water you use, you want to use less.
You don't use it as much, yeah.
Yeah. So that is very impressive, but what's more impressive is Singapore's water conservation. So Singapore is a very tiny, densely populated island.
Mm-hmm.
They have 20 major water reservoirs that supply only half of their water, and the rest of it they buy from Malaysia. So they have
What?
to focus a lot on conserving their water.
Yeah, of
So
course.
their
They have to
efforts,
buy it.
yeah, their efforts, the main one, well, the one they're really good at this, and I think I talk more about them later. One of their big things is just like reduce the amount of time you take in the shower by 1 minute.
Yeah.
Like it's all just little things like that, but their conservation efforts reduced per capita water consumption from 45.4 gallons or 172 liters to 40.7 gallons per day.
Wow.
And not so in New York City that was like everybody. So in
Yeah.
context for
This is
one
per
person in
capita.
New York that went from like 800ish to 500ish.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So New York City uses a lot more water in
Yeah,
general.
obviously, yeah.
But the water conservation like they're using 40.7 gallons a day. That's I think less than in the
crazy.
section before when we were talking about what they recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they super
definitely
conserve
less,
their
yeah.
water. Which makes sense because they don't have a lot.
Yeah.
Or it's expensive because they have to buy it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of on a residential level.
Yeah.
Commercial and institutional buildings like hotels and colleges and stuff obviously use a lot of water with laundry.
Yeah.
Hotels are just, those things are full of showers and toilets. It's like
Yeah,
one per
that's
room.
part of the whole thing,
Crazy.
Weird how people have to have toilets.
Nuts, right?
Yeah.
So just by installing more efficient toilets and just like all water efficient fixtures, low flow shower heads, all those kinds of things, and more efficient washers and stuff, the Hilton and San Antonio reduced their annual water consumption by 49% just from switching out to more efficient
Yeah,
fixtures.
that makes sense. So.
Yeah. Other places have other methods of helping with conservation. So there was a lodge in Olympic National Park that issued a challenge for people to take 5-minute showers, and they had timers set up in all of the bathrooms for people to time themselves. To be like, just see if you can do this in 5 minutes. Which I think worked.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a way to do it. I like a challenge. So there's conservation for you. Another way to conserve our fresh.
Obviously, this like benefits all of these businesses and people as well because then they don't
they're
have to pay as much for water.
They're saving money, and we're all saving water.
It just makes way more sense, I think. Yeah.
So another way to conserve our freshwater resources is by reclamation and recycling. So basically, that's just treating water to make it safe for reuse. So basically, you substitute engineered purification of water for the process that naturally occurs in the hydrologic cycle. And that water can be used for industrial processes, irrigation, recharging groundwater supplies. You can use it to restore ecosystems. And in some places, people drink their reclaimed water, which I think the
Okay.
only reason why a lot of places don't is because it's taboo. Um,
Right.
the water's
Obviously.
clean, but because it was gray at one point,
Yeah.
it's just not
It's like
trusted.
weird for people.
Yeah. Namibia, however, kind of led the charge on this.
Oh.
So Windhoek, it's very a Dutch sounding name. I'm assuming probably same people that colonized South Africa went down through Namibia.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. It's called, I think it's Windhoek, but could be wrong.
Windhoek. So it is home to some of the driest regions in Southwest Africa, namely the Namib Desert. And so
Yes.
they had to get super innovative with water. So the capital, Windhoek, was founded on a natural spring, but the city just was growing. It grew way too fast to keep up. Between 1970 and 2008, they went from 60,000 people to 300,000.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot of people.
Yeah.
So they get their water mostly from local aquifers and reservoirs that trap water from rivers that only flow during heavy rainstorms.
Oh, okay.
Intermittent rivers, yeah. And so in the 1960s, local water supplies dried up, and the nearest source of fresh water was the Okavango River, which is 400 miles north, or 650 kilometers. Yeah. It's a little far away.
Shit.
So they had to get innovative, and they turned to water reclamation and recycling. So their reclamation plant began to produce clean water in 1968. So they put their water through a tertiary treatment to disinfect it, which includes a UV light that kills the bacteria in it, and they drink it, and they use it for all those other things. But I think they were the first, if not one of the first, to use their reclaimed water for drinking water.
That's really cool.
Very innovative.
I want to go there.
Wine country, Sonoma, California, they also reclaim their water because they have to. The water that flows through there in the drier months doesn't meet their needs. And so I thought Namibia's was more interesting, so I didn't really include much about Sonoma.
Oh, fair.
Sorry. We're not going to wine country today.
Namibia is more interesting than wine country.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fair.
So that's reclamation. Just recycling used water, cleaning it, and reusing it. And that's a great way to take the weight off of just the little bit of discharge water that we have access to every year.
Yeah.
The next way to conserve our freshwater supplies I'm going to talk about is desalination. So I think what a lot of people think about when, at least conversations I've had with people when I talk about freshwater resources, and I get really angry about car washes. And so I mostly have these conversations after people are in a car with me and we drive by a car wash, and I just, yeah.
Fair.
So the easy thing to say is, well, we have all these oceans, right?
Yeah.
And so it seems like a simple fix, but salt water is like 3 times as salty as our blood. So drinking it straight would kill us.
Yep.
So we would have to desalinate it, get the salt out of there. There's 2 ways that we do that. The first approach that people started with was distillation, which basically is you're heating it up, the salt water up, and then the fresh water evaporates and condenses, and that's what you capture. So then you're left with fresh water and like concentrated salt brine.
Yeah, lots of
basically.
Salt. Yeah.
The problem there is it takes a lot of energy, and it's generally pretty expensive, but people do get creative with it. So you can use the heat produced as a byproduct of electrical generation as a source of heat energy for desalination. So like an electrical plant needs to use water to cool itself. And so the runoff from that, I have an example of this in a minute, but so the runoff from that you can use to heat up and distill the salt water.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
If that makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
It's called cogeneration, and it can also be combined with other techniques like reducing the atmospheric pressure so the water boils faster, because at lower temps and lower atmospheric pressure, or the
Yeah.
water will boil at lower temps at lower atmospheric pressure. And so
Yeah.
that would take less energy to evaporate it, but it's still pretty energy expensive. So it's mostly used in countries that are energy rich and water scarce, like the Middle
Yeah.
East and North Africa.
Okay.
I think the Middle East and North Africa have produce over or are home to like over 50% of the distillation plants. Yeah. Crazy. So the other way that we desalinate water is through reverse osmosis. Do you remember that movie Osmosis Jones?
Obviously, I remember Osmosis Jones. I think of Osmosis
Killer
Jones at
flick.
least once a day.
You don't watch Osmosis Jones.
Well, not once a day. Once a week. Every time I take ibuprofen, I think of Osmosis Jones. Basically.
Fair. Nice. So not this guy.
Yeah.
It's not Osmosis Jones.
Right.
Reverse Osmosis Jones. I just wrote push that shit through a membrane. So basically, in a reverse osmosis process, the energy used is for pressurizing the water. Basically, what you're doing is you're feeding water through this semi-permeable membrane. You can think of it like a thick filter.
Yeah.
And the salt can't go through that, but the water can. And so the energy there is used, say you have like two sides of a thing. Here's your membrane, here's the salt water. You're putting pressure here that will then push the water through the membrane. And so you'll have fresh water over here and you're left with pretty concentrated salt water over here once you're done.
There. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
It's called salt brine.
Obviously,
it's twice the salinity of seawater.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're just pushing water through a filter.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just like filtering it, essentially.
Yeah. It's just, a really intense filter. So that the salt brine that's left over from that since it's twice the salinity of seawater, can be pretty harmful to marine life.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay is kind of in a good situation for this. So the bay itself is like 25% less salty than normal ocean water.
Oh, okay.
Because it's, a bay.
Yeah.
Separated from the main ocean.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm a scientist. I know science words.
A bay.
So it uses, because it's less salty, it takes less energy to push the water through the membrane.
Yeah.
So the plant in Tampa Bay is also located next to an electrical generation plant. So they get low cost power from that. And then they mix the salt brine that is left over with the cooling water released by the power plant to dilute it.
Okay.
And they dilute it to a ratio of 70-1. And because of that, Tampa Bay has had no increase of salinity in the bay since they started the plant, even on its highest working days.
No?
Yeah, it's great. They use
they
runoff
could do that
from the electrical plant
other places
and combine
as well,
it.
right?
Yeah. I think that's a pretty good example of cogeneration. Would be them using the power plant. Singapore did it better though.
Yeah, obviously. Okay.
Yeah. So their plant output is 50% higher than Tampa's and can meet 10% of Singapore's water demand. Their desalination plants are so energy efficient that they are producing the world's least costly desalinated water. The textbook didn't really go into how specifically they're more efficient. I think it's just because they have no other choice but to be.
Yeah.
And so they're super good at it. And that is desalination.
Good for them.
I think it's going to become more popular as we run out of other options, but it is a pretty high energy cost way to get fresh water.
Yeah.
So
that's
is a solution, is a tough solution. Yeah. So the last bit I'll talk about is going back to the beginning. So conservation and restoration of ecosystems. Just restoring ecosystems has a lot of benefits that help with purifying water and reducing erosion.
Right.
So some states have enacted laws that require some minimum in-stream flow to be maintained in rivers to help with fish populations. And some places even brought back historic floods. So we talked about the Colorado River in all the damming of the Colorado River.
Yeah.
So what happened there was, because there was no sediment being released because the dam traps all the sediment, all of their sandbanks had were eroding back, and they were being filled in with invasive plants and other bad things. And like, there was no spot for rafters to camp because there were no sandbars for them to go up on. And
Yeah.
also, those areas of more calm water flow are good fish nurseries. But
Okay.
with
Yeah.
no banks, that water's moving faster, and so it hurts the fish populations as well.
Got it.
So they wanted to rebuild up the sediment banks that had eroded and caused all of those bad things to happen. So what they did, starting in pause.
Also, apparently everyone has decided to come over now.
It's a party.
You're so
In 1996 is when they first did this. They're having a good time. The first
restoring
time, yeah. So
ecosystems.
yes. So in 1996, they opened the floodgates of the big dam, the one that Lake Powell was formed from. Why can't I find it?
I don't know what the name of it is. I apologize.
Glen Canyon Dam.
Okay.
That one. So they opened the floodgates 3 to 5 days at a time, and they timed the floods to follow inputs of sand from tributaries of the Colorado River.
Okay.
So they time it to line up with how it would best
flood normally. Oh, how it would
flood like the time of year that it would flood in from other tributaries. They tried to make it line up.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
And it has been successful at restoring the sandbars. So
fair.
That's been great. The sandbars are back, baby. Another example of restoring ecosystems, in Kissimmee, Florida, the Kissimmee River was channelized at one point into a big straight line that was 90 kilometers long and 9 meters or 30 feet deep by 328 feet wide. So it was just a big, wide, straight road, but river. Yeah. And they did this because people were just upset that floods were happening on their property, floods that happen in nature naturally.
Floods that are normal. Yeah.
But God forbid I bought land in a flood zone and didn't check that first.
Yeah, and insurance doesn't cover flooding.
So they channelized this river, made it straight, which meant there was no more exchange of nutrients and organic matter between the river and the floodplain. And it just messed everything up. Waterfowl numbers decreased 90%. Nesting bald eagles fell 75%. There was an increase in organic matter because there were no floods to move things around, and also a decrease in dissolved oxygen levels, which is basically just the amount of oxygen molecules in the water. You want a lot. You want some good oxygen in there for fish to breathe.
Yeah.
And those that organic matter and decreased dissolved oxygen made the largemouth bass suffer, which is a bummer. In 1992, however, they began the Kissimmee River Restoration Project, which at the time, if not still, was the largest ecosystem restoration project attempted ever, at least in the United States. So what they did was they restored like 40 square miles or 100 square kilometers of river floodplain, which included 20,000 acres of wetlands and 40 miles or 61 kilometers of river to, like, they made it all meander again. And it worked. Wading birds in the river and floodplain areas increased by 5 times. Duck and shorebird species that they hadn't seen in decades there returned. And the organic deposits in the river reduced by over 70%, and dissolved oxygen levels increased, and the largemouth bass is coming back.
Yay.
So
Billy largemouth bass.
The most is to be said for just restoring our ecosystems, is what it seems like to me. I would say restoring ecosystems, and I mean, what we can do is monitor our own water intake.
Yeah.
But that is the solutions to the freshwater crisis. Some solutions. There's a lot of options out there, but this is what the textbook covered.
That's good. There's solutions.
So, there's solutions. A lot of it is, yeah, we need to be using a lot less water, and we need to be restoring ecosystems, I would say, are what I think are the two biggest. Personally, I think desalination is maybe a last ditch resort. Reclamation is really cool. If we can get rid of the stigma of drinking reclaimed water.
Yeah.
If it works for Namibia,
it should work for
why
us.
can't it work for all of us?
Namibia is the least densely populated country on Earth, but
sure. Yeah. But you know, it works for them.
It's like there's like 2 million people in Namibia, and it's like one of the largest countries on Earth, in Africa at least.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's very empty.
Desert is beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fresh water supplies, part 3.
Yay.
Now you know everything you need to know about fresh water.
Indeed.
Ever. You never have to learn another thing about water ever again. You know it all. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's what I bring to the podcast for you. Water.
Right. Yeah. Water.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool.
All right. Oh, shit. Fire. Okay. I am not very good at moving. Well, thank you. That was very good. I liked it.
Do you want to see what my fidget is today?
Sure.
Check this out.
Oh, I did see this. He vomits. Oh.
Oh my God, on my laptop. Like, he's soaking it back up. You kind of got to help him sometimes.
You got to help him put his vomit back in his mouth.
If you just hear...
There you go. Oh. That was horrible. Thanks. Thanks.
Throw up guy ASMR. I don't know what that sounds
just like landing really hard. It's like the first one was like a little bit squishy, and the second one just landed really hard. Nice.
Well, if you
I
hear
know everything
slurps
about fresh water
while recording, it's this.
Good to know. Thanks. Oh, I hate the slurp. I hate the slurp a lot, actually. Where did you... Oh.
It was a gift.
Good.
From
good.
Aiden's mom's friend.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to talk about the third Tudor Queen.
Yeah. Back to the Queens.
Back to the Queens. Her name is Jane Seymour. Just so you know. And everyone...
Is what? Jane Seymour?
Jane Seymour. Yes. Everyone has been very mean about Jane Seymour.
Oh.
I think.
Poor Jane.
Throughout
Does she
history.
deserve it or no?
Not really. Like, do any of these women?
Okay.
It's kind of... I had to turn off one of the podcasts that I was listening to because it was just these two women who... Like, they did a good series because... They did a good series on the Tudor Queens because... Because, I mean... They dramatized them and they were interesting and that kind of thing. But like they really hated on Jane and they really hated on Anne Boleyn. And I think that lacks context and it lacks nuance. And I don't like when women think that historical women are. I don't like when historical women are given this like one size fits all. The slurping it has to stop. The slurping is too much. I'm sorry.
I'll switch. I'll play with my Wellbutrin empty pill bottles.
The slurping was really giving me the ick.
This is just what it's going to be. Now we're just doing and undoing the child lock. I have nothing to fidget with.
I have my ring.
I'm just gonna hold the Celsius in my hand and hope that works.
I just like I have this like ring from my AirPods case on my finger, and that works for me.
So do I have any like scissors nearby?
Oh, God forbid you don't have any sharp objects to play with.
Getting.
You're not kidding though.
I got one. I'm gonna play with the other.
Okay, perfect.
Thing from my
That's a good quiet fidget.
That feels quiet.
But basically, yeah, I just didn't like how these people treated the Tudor Queens. I don't know. They just like they seem to really like Catherine of Aragon, which I do too. She's my favorite too. But like then they were just really quite mean about Anne Boleyn, and so was I at one point. But then you learn a little bit about her and you're like, oh, she didn't really have a choice, did she? So
Heard.
I think
Tell
Jane
me about
Seymour
her.
has been probably maligned is the right word as like a plain Jane,
Okay.
which is not very nice, but whatever.
Okay.
So she was born around 1509, either 1508 or 1509, and at a place called Wolf Hall in a part of England called Wiltshire, which I know because they have a pirate accent.
Hell yeah.
When you think of Wiltshire,
So she's a pirate.
they so she might have sounded like one. No, no, because she's probably too posh to sound like a pirate, but like, yeah, they do tend to have the like, oh, I was going down to the. It's a really strange accent, and an accent that I didn't know existed until I met someone from Wiltshire and was like, what is that?
Cool. I want to talk to a pirate.
Yeah, it was interesting. So she was the eldest daughter of a woman named Marjorie Wentworth and Sir John Seymour. So Marjorie, her mom, was actually a bit more aristocratic. Like they were wealthy, but her mom was a bit more aristocratic than her dad because she could trace her lineage to King Edward III. And then also they were cousins, second cousins of Anne Boleyn, and they were also related to Catherine Howard, who is one of
That's
Henry's other wives.
wild.
So, yeah. So she
Small
was,
town vibes.
yeah, she was
if you
related
will.
to two of the other wives, and she was also a wife. Anyways,
Do you think I can fit my entire hand in here? Sorry.
it's okay. I kind of want to see it if you can. Just
I'll let you know if I get there.
interrupt me at any time. Jane was one of 10. So she
It's the most I can do.
it's kind of disturbing. I don't know why. You look like you have a hoof. You look hooved. I'm behooved. Who the hell is yelling? So anyways, Jane was one of 10. 6 of them survived to adulthood. There was 3 boys and 3 girls. And she was brought up in the typical education of a girl of the time. So she could read, she could write, she could do needlework. She was good at hosting. She learned how to host. She learned how to manage a household. She learned how to do music, those kind of things, but not like math because,
women don't need math.
Women don't need to know how to count.
No.
And honestly, I would have been okay without math.
Sometimes the patriarchy can have a win. I take that back.
This is like how sometimes I say that like sometimes gender roles are okay for me. Like sometimes they work for me, So I'm like, I don't want to take out the trash. Like,
yeah.
Not for me.
Anywho.
Anywho. So a relative who was already in the court of Henry VIII, by the way, at this time, so this is 1529. So Henry is in his 30s, 40s at this point. And a relative secured Jane a place in the household of Catherine of Aragon. So Jane starts working as a maid of honor for Catherine of Aragon in 1529. Then we know what happened to Catherine. Bless her heart. She was divorced and Jane was like moved home for a time, but then it turns out that even though she was quite like Jane was quite ride or die for Catherine of Aragon, she was actually moved into the household of Anne Boleyn then, whenever Anne became queen. So she survived as a personality hire or what have you. Good for her. I said one has to consider if she learned a thing or two, having been around the block with 2 queens at this point. She was probably not stupid and probably observant enough to be like, this guy is not great.
Mhm.
But she was also apparently a supporter of Catherine of Aragon because, you know, Jane was known for being, first of all, Catholic, second of all, very pious and very, like, proper in all of this.
Mhm.
So, I don't know how much was gossip, but yeah, she was in the household of both queens. We don't actually know when Henry decided that he was gonna, like, now take a liking to Jane, but we have a 1534 account from the Spanish ambassador, who is the who is the main source that we have for all of these stories of these queens. Just gossip, just a straight gossiper, straight Charlotte
Love
Chisme
that
type man.
so much.
I know, me too. His name was like Eustace something.
Somebody said, "Oh, this
Eustace.
shit is good."
Yeah, and he was like, let me just write that down real quick.
Would have
So,
loved Andy Cohen.
yeah, truly, he would have been on Bravo at least every day. So, he described an affair in 1534 between the king and an unnamed woman. We don't know if that's Jane, but it could have been.
Okay.
Probably not, because Jane was very known for her, like, propriety in court. She was very, like, buttoned up, very, very pious.
Gotcha.
But in 1535, Henry and Anne visited Wolf Hall, which is where Jane and her family, that's their, like, seat. So that's where she was where she was raised and all of this. But we don't even know if Jane was there at that point. And around this time, Jane was already 26 or 27. I put in parentheses the horror, and was known for more for her propriety.
I'm 27.
So am I.
That's crazy.
You're not unmarried though. You're not a spinster, nor am I technically.
Yeah, I guess maybe I
but,
blinked
like,
out the beginning of that and just heard 27.
yeah, I know. But
That's
she
my
was
age.
so
I'm
she
back
was
now. I'm
unmarried.
here.
Her like little sister was already married, these kinds of things. So she was like considered like the spinster of the family.
I gotcha.
And like she had been,
It's crazy because I feel like I'm a child bride.
yeah, exactly. But she had been engaged and then the plans fell through and those kind of things. Like it just never really seemed to work out for her, and her parents kind of just like had her at home, like didn't. So she just
Cool.
like had these jobs instead of jobs. She was maid of honor in two queens' households because
27 dresses was about her. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
yeah. So I said 26 or 27, the horror, and she was known more for her propriety and meekness rather than her beauty. And then I said I would read that offensively if I were Jane, but that's just me. She's real meek.
That's tough. That is tough to hear. Yeah.
I feel like that's an insult, personally.
I would cry, personally.
I probably would as well.
The worst thing you could say about me.
Yeah, I'm not pretty, but I am meek. Okay.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go Old Yeller myself.
But anyways, this is probably what?
That I'm gonna go Old Yeller myself. Is that allowed? Is that allowed to be said?
You can say whatever you want to say, to be honest. It's your podcast. But Old Yeller yourself is a crazy way to say that.
I didn't want to say kill myself in front of God and everyone. I reserve that for just between friends.
That's solely among close friends. Literally though, it's jokes on everyone else because like this whole meekness thing, actually the opposite of making her want to go Old Yeller herself, she attracted the king by being meek.
Okay.
Because Anne was growing a little bold for Henry, as we know. She was
and bold Lynn.
You said it. Anne Bold Lynn. Crazy, crazy work there.
What can I say?
But she was just piping up too much, like for Henry's liking, essentially.
Yeah.
Shocker.
God forbid a woman has opinions.
God forbid a woman has a thought. So that's probably what attracted him to Jane, was he was like, got this woman at home who won't shut up, and this girl's like doesn't talk. She's not pretty, but she doesn't talk.
Only shuts up.
Only
She
shuts
comes
up
like
and
she
like
comes
sits
shut
there
up.
like she comes quiet, and I like that about her. So after Anne's second miscarriage in 1536, it's pretty sure that that's when her and Henry started having not an affair, but like, you know, she was open to his advances at this point. There's like accounts again from the Spanish ambassador of like Jane sitting on the king's lap and Anne coming in and being like, you know, which I would too.
Yeah.
You can't blame her. She did like, so the king started sending her gifts, started sending Jane gifts, and she would accept them. But
You know what
she
I'm thinking
also
about?
what?
If someone ever wrote a letter, Dear Sam, the other night.
I feel that Anne didn't have to write a letter though. I feel that Anne would have just been like, "Hey, Henry." Well, maybe she left him notes. Maybe that was part of the.
Imagine the Tudor Queens were the. I'm not doing good with this joke.
the
Because I'm blanking on everyone from Jersey Shore's name. Sam and Mike, not Mike. No,
Sammy,
that's
sweetheart. Mike, the situation. Ronnie.
right. Ronnie. Imagine
Vinny.
Ronnie is King Henry.
It tracks, to be honest with you.
Imagine a Jersey Shore version.
Sam would be Anne Boleyn as well.
What?
Who would? I think JWoww would be Catherine of Aragon.
Yeah.
Snooky though.
Who would Snooky be?
Who is Snooky?
I only know about two and
Anne of Cleves, probably. Anne of Cleves is known for being ugly, just so you know. We'll talk about her next time. But she's like,
she's just a meatball.
She's just a little meatball. Was there other girls? Yeah, Angelina, Deena. I think Deena would be Jane Seymour. Deena was the least problematic of all the girls on Jersey Shore, I think.
Deena was just there for a good time.
Deena was just there. Yeah, she was just having a good time. I loved her. Anyways, we have
now connected these wives to the Real Housewives and also Jersey Shore.
Yeah, which the Real Housewives doesn't land for me as much as Jersey Shore, so I'm quite happy with the Jersey Shore comparison, actually.
Yeah.
Except for Ron would have never gotten with anyone but Sam, really.
So. Yeah. It would have to be the girls at the club.
And a cocktail waitress. He put his head in between his cocktail waitress's breasts. Anyways. So Jane was accepting gifts that Henry was sending her, but she made it clear that she was not going to compromise her virtue for him. And I wonder where she learned that from, because Anne did the exact same thing. In March of 1536, Henry sent Jane a letter and a purse of gold sovereigns, which is money. She refused the gift, quote, kissing Henry's unopened letter and asking the messenger to return it. Chapuis, that's his name. Okay, so Eustace Chapuis, which is the Spanish ambassador. According to Chapuis, Jane replied that she could not accept the letter. I know. Eustace Chapuis, what a name.
Like, you know, Jane, has some teeth.
Yeah.
He knows the secrets.
He really does. Jane replied that she could not accept the letter as there was no treasure in the world that she valued as much as her honor. If the king wanted to send another gift, she suggested he might wait until such a time as God would be pleased to send her some advantageous marriage.
So she said, marry me.
You should, no, she's like, you should set me up with an advantageous marriage. Wink, 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 wink. And mind you, the timeline of this. So March 1536.
It's very honorable of her.
I know. So March 1536. Anne is killed in May of 1536. She's beheaded in May of 1536.
Okay.
So this is like all happening around the same time. So Henry is having this affair with Jane around the same time that like all of this really horrible stuff is going down with Anne. So Henry was, I mean, she played her cards right, to be honest, because Henry was wooed by being rejected. He was not put off by being rejected. He was like, oh my God, she likes a chase. So he decided that he's going to move.
He loves when they
Jane's-
play hard to get.
He really does. So he decides that he's going to move Jane's brother, Edward, into Thomas Cromwell. So he was the guy who's kind of like dealing with Anne right now. So he moved Jane's family, her brother and his family, into Thomas Cromwell's apartments in Greenwich Palace, so he could just visit Anne and keep her, or visit Jane and keep her honor intact. So they had like chaperones, whatever.
Okay.
As we all know, then Anne Boleyn, so a month after this, I think, this was in April of 1536, and then a month after this, Anne was ultimately arrested and executed on May 19th. One day later, Henry and Jane are betrothed.
Oh.
So they're engaged.
Okay. Well,
in secret, but still.
It's important to mourn and move on a day later, is what they say.
Yeah. One day later. Yeah.
That's what they say, is to do that.
11 days later, they are married. So Anne's body isn't even cold. Jane seemed like the perfect wife for Henry compared to the other two. So I think he was just like, finally did it right. The motto that so apparently when you become queen, you take on a motto, and her motto was bound to serve and obey, which makes me want to die. Henry wanted a son.
Down, so I put that in my sound.
Put that in your what?
Well, because for my drawing,
Oh yeah, of course.
So you can tell the difference between all the women I'm drawing pictures of.
Of course, because they are all dressed the exact.
They are
same.
all just white women. Yeah.
There's an interesting portrait of Jane because she is one of the ones.
You'll have to send me whichever.
She's one of the only ones.
Portrait
but she's one of the. She has like a contemporary portrait, so she has like a portrait that was painted of her as the model.
Cool.
Yeah, she is just another very white woman though. So, her family also had a reputation for fertility, because she came from a family of 10. So that was a big deal for Henry.
Sure.
And just as a reminder, just in case anyone didn't know, Henry wanted a son. So he was.
Oh, did he now?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I'm really surprised by that. Yeah.
He really is subtle about it.
I know.
He really holds that one close to the chest.
Only gone through 2 wives thus far, trying to find one. There is so she like was quite meek and like perfect, but then there's one example of her rocking the boat again from Eustace, our boy. So in October of 1536, there was a movement called the Pilgrimage of Grace, which went through northern England really rapidly, and it was essentially a popular uprising against Henry because Henry had started. We talked about this before, but Henry had started doing this thing called He had started a new church. We know that.
Right, yeah.
But in the process of starting this new church, he had started.
You sound like you're about to start crying.
No, I'm not. I promise. People, I've been
It's just
doing
the
that a lot
post-cough.
lately.
I think it was just the post-cough starting to talk again.
Sorry. Anyways, I'm not going to cry about Henry basically looting a bunch of monasteries. So basically what he did was he did a big dissolution of monasteries so that he could sell the land and line his own pockets, essentially. And there was obviously uproar about this, and according to I'm so sorry, this is not from Eustace, this is from the French ambassador, so the other gossipy boy. So allegedly Jane publicly
notes.
Yeah, obviously, why not?
Love it.
They were both there, I would imagine, whenever this happened. And they were both just like, I'm gonna write that down, nobody pay attention later. So according to him, Jane allegedly publicly begged Henry on her knees to restore the abbeys. And Henry, quote, warned her to stop interfering, grumbling that he had often told her not to meddle with his affairs. Chillingly, the king also told her to remember what happened to his last queen.
Ooh. Yikes.
So now he's openly threatening people.
Yeah.
Mind you, she's like, there's obviously, I mean, the power imbalance of the fact that he's the king and she was a minor noble, but then
Right.
she was 29 when they got married and he was like in his mid 40s. So, you know, not horrible, but not great.
Yeah.
The other thing that Jane is known for, so besides this like one instance of her speaking out, is that she reconciled Henry with his daughter Mary. So Mary is Catherine of Aragon's daughter.
Okay.
Jane is a Catholic as well. Jane and Mary were very close from the time that Jane was on Catherine of Aragon's court. So
Okay.
she was never legitimized. Well, she was, but she wasn't legitimized again. But she was not named heir. But she was welcomed back to court by her father in July of 1536, and her stepmother Jane gave her a diamond on her return because they were really close. So it was obviously a bit of a scary time to be Henry's queen because he was the cracks were starting to show, and he
For
was
sure.
getting a little bit kooky. His only son, so he was illegitimate, but he was recognized, so he was given a title. His only son, Henry Fitzroy, died in 1536, and later that year, Henry also produced a new act of succession, which confirmed Mary and Elizabeth as illegitimate and accounted for any children produced by a future queen, an unnamed future queen. So he was like trying to account for like his sons that could be born, not by Jane necessarily, but by any future queen. So she was like, cool, okay.
Cool. Neat.
But Jane got pregnant. So, in March 1537, after 2 days and 3 nights of laboring,
Pass.
hard pass.
Super pass.
Yeah. So she got pregnant in March, and then by October, no, that doesn't make sense. They knew she was pregnant in March, and then on October 12th, finally, after almost 3 days of labor, Jane gave birth to a baby boy. Prince Edward was christened on October 15th, 1537.
Yeah,
And Mary, what?
Parks and Rec when they're at the Snake Hole Lounge, and then Adam Scott goes, "Bye bye boy." Picture this baby's born, and the doctor just goes, "It's a bye bye boy."
Boy. That's my favorite part of that entire scene. Whenever he goes, "Bye boy." I love Adam Scott so much.
So good.
And so Mary, the stepdaughter, was actually the baby's godmother. Jane was doing really well. Basically, the baby was christened, everything was fine, and Jane was sitting up in bed surrounded by furs. She had her little boy. She was very happy. And she was receiving people after the christening and all of this. But sometime in the next 12 days, Jane's health just like took a very sharp turn. And she died on October 24th, 1537 at 29 years old.
Yikes. We got 2 years left until we're dead, Maddie.
That is not what that means in any way, shape, or form. She died of an unhygienic birth. So that's what they think. That's what's commonly thought amongst a lot of historians, that she died of this thing called childbed fever, which is a result of poor hygiene so basically like you got some dirty stuff up there.
Pass.
It could have also just been postpartum complications. It could have also been food poisoning. Some historians think it was food poisoning. So she was laid to rest. She died for all intents and purposes in childbirth. And she was laid to rest on November 12th, 1537, with Mary serving as her chief mourner. And she was buried at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. And it is thought that Henry was actually genuinely sad. Whether that's because it was the first woman to give him a son, I'm not going to comment on. However, he did have Hampton Court Palace, which is where he lived most of the time, draped in black all over the walls. And he retreated into Westminster Abbey or Palace, one of the two, where he mourned and kept himself close and secret for a while, which is according to his words in the letter. And also, for what it's worth, whenever Henry died in 1547, he chose to be buried next to Jane.
Oh, interesting.
People think that Jane is like the wife that Henry truly loved. I don't know if
minus
I would go
the casual death threats.
Yeah, minus that. I don't know if I would go that far, obviously, but
Heard.
I think that she gave him a son, and therefore he like kept commissioning paintings of her. Like he like held Jane in quite high esteem because of Edward. So now we have 3 kids and 2 dead queens and 1 divorced.
Wow.
And next up is Anne of Cleves. We'll talk about that next time. This is it will be the shortest story I have ever told, probably. So.
See, I guess I don't necessarily see why she gets hate.
No, I don't really see why she gets hate either. Like, I guess just because she's like quite plain and we don't really know much.
A little boring. Yeah.
Just a little bit boring, which is that's it though. And I'm kind of like,
she's not pretty, but she's meek.
She's meek. So how can you hate that? You know?
She's got that going for her. Well, that was great.
Anyways. Thank you. And
we did it. We're back, baby.
We did it.
On 111. So we're recording. Cute. Angel numbers.
That's cute.
And 2 minutes ago it was 1:13 p.m. here, which is or 2 minutes ago it was 1:11. Now it's 1:13. 2 minutes ago, if I had caught that, it would have been great.
8:13 here.
Well, but it's 1:13 here. So we should think about that.
Celebrate me.
I'm the more important one here right
now. Okay. Cool. Well, have fun with your house or your land viewing.
Yeah.
And
let you know how it goes. Catch you on the flippity flip.
Catch y'all on the flippity flop.
For the next queen.
For the next
queen, and then whatever I do.
And whatever it is that you were going to talk about.
Whatever I do is going to be something.
Move. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, see ya.